Welcome to the Sports Hangover.
Mike, it's good to see you again. What sports were you watching without cable this weekend?
No sports. No sports at all. I don't even turn the TV on anymore because we don't have TV on in front of the kid.
So you don't even have anything on in the room? It's just you three?
It's just us, maybe some music in the background, putting on a record or something.
That sounds terrible. What's your mental state like?
No TV at all. It's no TV. Just watching, we talked about White Lotus.
We just did that deep breakdown off the air.
Yeah,
it's a weird show this year. I don't know. I'm still waiting for things to happen. Mike is happy so far.
I like it. It's just like we're following along. Sometimes there's shows where you just I would just hang out with you guys the entire time. Kind of. Did you see the new show on Apple TV, The Studio, with Seth Rogen?
I heard about it. I haven't seen it yet. I got to watch it.
That's a show where I feel like I could just hang out with these people the entire time. Like nothing has to happen. We could just go through their adventures, and I'm okay with that.
So it's a good show. You recommend it?
Oh yeah, it was great. Especially if you like movies and TVs and you kind of know stuff. It makes it even deeper because they're actually filming and actually getting directors on set and fake filming stuff, but they're actually at the director's house, and there was actually drama with studios and that director, and they kind of play stuff out that happened in real world in the show, which is kind of fun.
That is fun. Hollywood loves making movies and shows about itself. That's something I noticed recently.
It's great.
It's the only green lights are existing IP from 50 years ago and movies about Hollywood.
But also there's never any comedies. I feel like this is the first comedy where I actually laugh a little bit. There's no comedies anymore. No one wants to make comedies.
Comedy's hard to do, Mike. It's hard to be funny, as you know better than anyone, and so it's just it's just one of those things that they don't want to spend money on it because it's not a surefire bet. Existing IP and big name actors are surefire bets.
I know. I don't like it, and that's what they talk about a lot. You'll see in the studio. It's great. They're making a Kool-Aid movie. That's what they're doing.
Apple TV is getting hot. They have Severance. They have some sports. They have that show. So they're getting better.
Yeah, they have some other shows. They have Dope Thief, which is kind of good. Pretty good show. It's
that
two
one
guys
hasn't caught on yet.
You should watch it. It's two guys that pretend to be federal agents, but they actually just rob other drug dealers and pretend they're federal agents. Pretty solid. Yeah.
Sounds pretty good.
A lot of drama in that.
Mike, we're talking baseball on today's show, but I got a breaking news alert right before we started podcasting, and it pisses me off so much. My team, the Atlanta Braves, had a terrible offseason. They signed one player worth a damn, and he just got suspended for steroids for 80 games that they signed. They also went 0-4, and they're playing the Dodgers in your neighborhood this week. They're going to be 0-7. They lost their best player, and it's baseball just started. It's not even April 1st, and I'm already upset with my team.
Jeremy, we're in 2025. How are people getting caught doing steroids? Why are you doing steroids? At this point, I feel like there's so many other things you can do to get better.
Ozempic.
Yeah, do Ozempic. I'm actually going to lose a lot of muscle and bone, but you can still do Ozempic. But I don't think there's a lot of. I guess there are kind of heavy players in baseball. It's not really an athletic sport.
There's actually a lot of them. Yeah, I don't know. You could have masked it better. To your point, just disguise it. Disguise your drug use, like everyone else around here does.
Yeah, weren't the cyclists doing blood transfusions to pump it out of their system so they wouldn't get caught when they would dope test or something? Wouldn't they do that?
Something like that. Lance Armstrong's trying to make a comeback. I don't know. It's dude, you failed us. You lied to us all. I don't know if I can trust him again.
And then I remember our Ray Lewis story where he was doing deer antler spray and getting all jacked up.
Ray Lewis?
Remember Ray Lewis was doing deer antler spray to get jacked up, and it was a testosterone booster? Do you remember
that was that legal, or did he get suspended?
I think he got suspended for it.
He didn't get suspended for murdering that dude in the back of the limo, but he got suspended for the deer antler spray.
Yeah.
That was a thing for a while. You're right.
It was. Yeah, I feel like just if you're gonna do something, do something. I feel like there's so many legal options right now to boost your testosterone.
Well, Mike, legal options are exactly what the New York Yankees did with those baseball bats. Mike does not talk about baseball on this show. He does not send me many stories, but he was deep in the lab this morning with ChatGPT imagery, cooking up some images of the Torpedo Bats. This must have hit mainstream if it hit your ear.
Jeremy, I love it. You hire a genius MIT guy to build out your bats. Now, I also saw that possibly these bats were used last year, but it wasn't a big story because they didn't hit 20 home runs or whatever, like the Yankees.
Yeah.
But I like it. Change the game a little bit within the rules. Kind of weird. It didn't make sense at first, but I guess it's if you're hitting the ball lower, we'll just make that part of the bat even bigger so you can hit the ball better. Makes sense.
The smartest people are coming into sports and they are upending things. They're disrupting our sports. It happened at Michigan with the science stealer, the coder, the professional coder. It happened with this guy who went to MIT and he left at 40 years old and said, I want to go work in baseball and make baseball improvements. And he redistributed the weight in the bat. It's a legal bat. Apparently a few players across the league use it. The Yankees, Mike, TSH reports on what's going on in the sports world. We go to the source. And so I was at Yankee Stadium for opening day trying to figure this out. And this is the Torpedo Bats. So if you're watching the show right now, you can look at this. You want to read it to the people?
Well, we just mentioned the MIT physicist Lenny, who came in, got on the payroll, built these torpedo bats. And now if you look at it on screen, it's like at some point, are we just going to like cricket where it's just a flat board and you're just going to nail it? Because that's kind of what it's looking like at this point in the picture.
For our audio only listeners, which please go to YouTube and watch our video too. We're good looking people. The bat is shorter and it's fatter. It's kind of like a lot of our friends over time.
Yeah. You eventually
shrinking and getting chubbier. That's what these bats did. And the sweet spot is now lower. And that's why these guys apparently were getting jammed. And now they can just turn their hands really quickly. And the ball hits the fatter part of the bat instead of the skinny part of the bat where it used to hit. And they're hitting home runs. The Yankees hit so many home runs this weekend. It was a record in a 3-day series. I was at opening day, as I mentioned. The first batter of the game is a catcher. A catcher never bats leadoff. And the catcher hit a home run the first pitch of the game for the Yankees when I was there. And that stat was this just became the first catcher to ever hit a leadoff home run. And then they broke every stat after that all weekend, hitting 18 home runs. Now, I will say, this weekend in New York, the temperature got up to 70 degrees. It was beautiful out. The ball may have been flying due to that. So, like, the cold weather game I was at, they only hit 4 home runs. So is there a weather thing here? This is what TSH brings to the table that not every podcast can break down. There is a weather component, but I'm glad it's legal because normally the Yankees cheat, and this time they're doing it legally.
I mean, is it also that they played a bad team? Could that factor in a little bit? Bad pitcher?
We don't know what teams are bad the first week of the year, except we know the Braves are.
I like what they're doing. This makes it exciting. You want to watch the game. If you're hitting 20 to 30 home runs a game, count me in. That's some action.
That would be a lot. They haven't hit that many. 18 in 3 days, I think, was the record that they set. Of course. So the thing is, it's legal, and the bats are available everywhere. Lenny might work for the Yankees, but those bats are now being shipped to every baseball team in the country. And so by tonight and tomorrow, these bats will be used everywhere. And so, like, if Major League Baseball is having a home run bonanza this week, and it's every team, it's like, wow, the sport just got more popular, and pitchers will probably hate it, and they'll, like, ask to ban it, but at least it would be exciting.
You would just think there would be, like, a shape, like the way that baseball bat is. Like, obviously they took the what were they, like the uncorked ones, the hollow baseball bats or something? Weren't those the ones for a while?
They used to cork them back in the day.
Yeah. So whatever this one is, the shape of it is so different that it doesn't even seem to be the same design as a baseball bat. So it's like there's no rules against it. You're just redistributing the weight, which doesn't really seem to be legal, but I guess there's no rule about that. But
there are bat laws in existence.
Sure.
In Major League Baseball, all the way down, Mike, to my softball team, co-ed softball in Los Angeles that I played last year. A guy on my team got kicked out for having an illegal bat from that game. Like, he had a bat that wasn't allowed. It was too long or too fat or whatever it was. The dude got kicked out. He came after work and he's like, he can't play today because he's trying to use an illegal bat. That's happening at that level of softball and baseball. So no doubt, for anyone who's played Little League, anyone in high school and minor leagues, like, you've seen technology, people trying to cheat, and they normally get caught. Now, you can't have a bat that's too long. You can't have a bat that weighs too much. This bat fit all the existing parameters. It was actually shrunken down and moved to the sweet spot. And so it's legal, even though guys are trying to get an edge everywhere. I think the reaction to it this weekend was kind of like, this thing looks crazy. It's illegal. It shouldn't be allowed, because so many people like me have seen bats be made illegal over time. It turns out the MIT guy knew what he was doing. But I think it's going to sweep baseball. I don't think it's a real advantage for the Yankees outside of this weekend, because tonight in games you're going to see them everywhere. And maybe they don't work. Maybe it's just a Yankee Stadium, warm weather, their swing thing, and then good for them. We'll see if it hits everywhere.
I guess the question for me is, it's like, why are they banning bats, right? Like, if you could have a bat that hits, home run balls every single time, everybody would use it, right? So would that change the pitching strategy? Why were these other bats not like steel bats? Why are steel bats not allowed in there? Why are only wood bats allowed?
Yeah, good point. College bats are steel. Those go a lot further, and they can really kill people at a short distance. They could murder a third baseman potentially. Yeah,
the bat or the ball?
The ball coming off a metal bat, because it's going to come off so much harder.
Yeah.
So college players use metal bats, but in the minor leagues and the pros, they don't, because you could really hurt someone with that, and they want to make it harder for you to hit. You can debate, right? Should it be easier to hit? Should we use aluminum bats across Major League Baseball and have balls flying out of the stadium in the upper deck every time? Should every game be 25-20? That's a different sport that we might need to talk about.
Well, I like it. Hopefully people keep hitting home runs. Maybe it'll make me go to a baseball game at some point. But
Well, you live in the neighborhood of Chavez Ravine, you should go, but don't go to the Braves-Dodgers series this weekend. Mike, I was in the Legends box seats for opening day.
Whoa.
The Yankees Legends box is something completely different. You walk in. I just want to give people an indication of how bougie this is. You walk in behind home plate. It's a world-class restaurant. There are steaks. There is lobster. There is sushi. People are in line to get a table. It's like, oh, you go there early before the game, you have a great dinner for free, and then you go watch the game. I didn't know that. I got there maybe 40 minutes before, but what we did was stocked up every inning. We would go in, get a plate of food, go back out. Sushi, jumbo shrimp, pasta stations. There was a kosher Jewish section, even for those folks who want to participate. Tons of seafood, pizza, hot dogs, of course, hamburgers. No alcohol was free. Sodas and waters were free. So they're still making money on the wine and the booze. But I loved my Legends Club. Tickets were going for like $800 in there. So tough to get in normally, but it was a great experience.
And you got those for free, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's great. I like that.
It's perks of the Northeast.
That's nice.
Mike. Some things are working out.
I guess so. Just the weather. What else? Do you have anything else on the ball? The bat, not the ball.
On the
the
ball.
ball too. Yeah. Do they ever change the ball? The ball's always the same, right?
The ball's always the same. They didn't change the ball. Now, people say they use different types of balls. There was like a humidifier type of thing, like taking moisture out or putting it in. We don't know what happened with that, but balls aren't flying like they did for a couple years there. I'll tell you something else about baseball that pisses me off while we're on this subject.
Yeah, go.
Opening day was last Thursday, the same day as the Sweet 16. You weren't watching either one. You don't have cable. But Sweet 16 games are going on while MLB opening day was going on, and it was a weekday on a Thursday, and all the games were at like 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Baseball can't get out of their own way with scheduling. It's like, remember that cool thing the NHL did recently where it was like a one game every hour of the day, like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. That'd be perfect for opening day. Maybe a weekend and not a Thursday.
Yeah.
Like, why can't you get support? Why are they so bad at this?
They're just an old business, right? They don't want to do anything fun. They're just kind of doing their thing, and we stay here. I just think almost baseball feels like, who's the commissioner of baseball? Because I feel like they don't want to change with the times. Like, even NHL is changing. NFL is obviously the ruler of the house and can kind of do whatever they want at this point. But I don't know if baseball thinks they can still do whatever they want.
I mean, the NHL house does not have many people in it. They might be doing whatever they want, but it's not a crowded house.
No, I know.
And neither is baseball at this point. Baseball, the commissioner, I don't know if you heard this, Rob Manfred, he's been in a public feud with ESPN because they're in the last year of their deal. ESPN exercised an opt-out. They said, we're not paying $550 million a year for your baseball package. And the commissioner said, good, we haven't been happy with your coverage anyway. So he's actually fighting with ESPN, which maybe not the best thing to do when your sport is potentially dying and there's one 24/7 sports network out there like ESPN. But we'll see what happens. It might be a free agent. They might be going to YouTube TV or Apple TV more. We'll see.
Like exclusive YouTube TV, or
it could be. It could be.
Oh wow, interesting.
That's the rumor.
I almost feel bad because like regular networks that are on cable, paid television are like, obviously that's a Disney company, but the problem feels like these larger tech companies are now going to be the new cable companies. Like we have YouTube, Apple TV, Prime, all this stuff. And they have the money. They don't really care how much money they spend as long as you come on their platform and watch whatever they got. And Prime does it. They got NFL. Google has the exclusive Red Zone and DirecTV, whatever they used to have. So I just think it almost seems unfair, but also we saw recently that ESPN they cut the Sports Center from LA. LA doesn't have Sports Center anymore, right?
Mike,
so
LA to Connecticut. Everyone's doing it. Do you want to try to give it a ride?
No, I'm okay. But it is weird. It just seems like everybody's consolidating, but also other companies are trying to like scoop up properties. I don't know. I feel in a weird way, I feel bad, but also like this is the way it should have been for a while. Like we should have had options to watch things other places. That's all.
Be careful what you wish for when you say options, because how expensive is it going to be for you to turn your bills back on and have YouTube TV and all these streaming services and try to watch sports? And that's like in this middle period until it's all figured out, as you know better than anyone, it's expensive and it's not always worth it. You can churn out for a month or two of sports you don't care about. I'm still worried about you with the NBA playoffs, though.
Well, do you think eventually, like, who's doing it? Are the Suns or somebody's doing it? where like one of the Utah teams, or
they
Utah,
sell their own rights. Yeah, direct to consumer. A lot of teams are doing that because the cable companies that they got in bed with long term are literally going out of business during their contracts. And so the leagues and the teams are forced to claw them back and not make much money on them and try to stand up advertising teams and broadcasting teams out of nowhere. We are like in the middle of this phase where the first ecosystem is falling apart and the second ecosystem isn't ready to absorb it yet, and we're the ones in the middle as consumers.
So obviously they make a lot of money from the TV deals, but it would be hard because like in your mind, you're like, oh, I have a fix. Like MLB should just have MLB TV and everything's there with no blackouts. How crazy would that be? But they aren't doing it because they make so much money, right? Like NFL makes a ton of money from Google and Prime and all this other, and you know, all these things. Apple, not Apple yet, but they make so much money from it. So they don't want to go direct consumer because they're never going to make as much money. It's like if ESPN wanted to charge everybody just to watch ESPN on a blocked app, which they do a little bit on some sports, not everybody's going to tune in because it's like, I don't want to pay whatever, $20 a month to watch, you know, my team once.
Mike, you're saying smart things, but there's not smart people on the other side to make it happen. For example, I pay $150 a year for MLB TV. That's on top of this YouTube TV craziness.
What do you
I'm
get
a
to
Braves
watch?
fan in Connecticut, and I get to watch every Braves game, and I pay a little extra so I can watch every game except the local games here in New York.
Of course, because they're
opening
blacked
day. Now, right, exactly. So opening day, so I can't watch Yankees or Mets games right off the bat, even though I'm paying all that, which is crazy. To your first point. Second point is I was at opening day. Thankfully, I was not at home trying to watch my team because MLB TV failed on opening day, and it was such a big outage. They had to email everyone. And this is how bad MLB is, going back to like, they don't get it. They had to email everyone and apologize. And they say, due to being out on the most important day of the year, opening day, here is a $10 discount to the MLB shop on a $25 purchase. Now, before you react to that even more strongly, there's currently the cheapest shipping option on MLB Shop is $9 for shipping. So they're giving you $10 off, and then they're charging you $9. So they're giving you $1 off of your shipping if you had an MLB TV outage. And it just goes back to the point where the people don't get it. The technology can't support it. They don't have the funding or resources in place for it. And so, again, it's back to the consumer of just trying to figure it out until we're like 3 to 5 years down the road, and Google and Netflix have secured all the rights to everything.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen because it seems like it's getting more fragmented, even with NFL. I mean, we have Netflix, Prime, we have CBS locking, you know, like these afternoon games are in certain channels. If you don't have cable, how are you going to get all these channels? I think it's just getting harder. And eventually it's like, there will be one winner of sports. Basically, it seems like it's like NFL is leading the way because you only have a certain amount of games. All these games with like NHL and MLB and basketball, like you're already seeing it in basketball where people are like, yeah, whatever, like we don't watch it, we'll watch during the playoffs. Eventually they're gonna have to change the game, shorten the season, make it worth more, do something, because I thought the best season in NHL was the lockout season a few years ago where we only had, I think it was like 60 or 50 games. It cut the season.
That's because your team won.
Did in the bubble, but I did like that season. I thought it was
a shorter season. It meant more. There's more urgency to it. There's kind of a camaraderie of all the guys living together and just trying to figure it out. You're right, and that's an issue right now. I would say the issue with the tech companies coming in to buy everything up is, Mike, what is free for you to watch right now on your TV?
Free for me to watch. So I got my antenna.
Yeah.
I can watch local, ABC, CBS, NBC,
It's not just local. You can watch sports on those networks as well. And so when sports is on ABC, that is reaching people for free when all those other streaming services we talk about are not. And I've been doing a lot of studies on this recently, Mike. On the flyover states, on the states in between the East and West Coasts, there is not a ton of people paying for multiple streaming services. It's a very liberal city thing to have them all, and that's because of how the finances are, and it's so expensive. And so what are these people watching? How are they going to be able to continue watching? A lot of the leagues are seeking out broadcast networks, and so streaming is so key, of course, but NBC, ABC, CBS, and Fox all still have incredible portfolios of live sports because they can reach the most people even more than a $19 Netflix streaming service can.
I know. Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, when are the rights up for baseball? Next year after this, I guess?
After this season, which MLB is not happy to be in a position where a year from now, opening day, they don't know who their main broadcast partners are.
Who would you like them to go to?
I don't know if I'm able to speak on that myself.
Okay. What would your dream scenario be watchability-wise? Do you want it fragmented through a few networks? One network to have it? A few networks?
A few networks is fine. I would love what you said. Lift the blackout on my MLB TV. So when I'm paying as much as I am, and millions of people around America are paying that much, give them a break and let them watch what they pay for. The idea of a blackout, I live in Connecticut. I live an hour and a half away from Yankee Stadium, yet because the game's not sold out, I am supposed to drive my ass there and get a ticket for $100 or $800 because they didn't sell out. Like, the whole idea of it is so archaic in today's financial and sports ideology. It's crazy.
So, I mean, to me, I feel like I was just thinking about it. The most obvious one would be Apple to have it, right? Because they already have Friday night baseball, or is that gone?
They still have it. They pay very little. It's almost like a donation by MLB to Apple so they can get on Apple. They pay like $10 million for the year.
I feel like Apple is kind of secretly going and just getting these like sport leagues that we don't really care about, like MLS. Like, I get blasted with MLS ads all the time on Apple TV. It's like, all right, like, I get it. I'm not going to do it.
All the rumors are the MLS regrets doing that deal. Like, they were one of the ones who took the plunge and went off of television, and everything was available on MLS because Apple TV isn't that kind of service where everyone has to have it.
Yeah.
It's kind of a niche service, as you know. It's like back in the day when HBO made like 3 good shows at a time per quarter. That's what Apple TV is to me. It's like they're making high quality, amazing shows. There's like 3 or 4 of them at any time. And so why do you need to pay for that if it's not an essential service? We'll see if they add more sports. I feel like YouTube TV with NFL Red Zone and the ticket package, I feel like they're positioned to get more. And I feel like they almost like care about that whole Google TV ecosystem more than Apple cares about Apple TV. I don't know if you disagree with that, but it feels like Apple is like in the Apple TV game just to have clout and go to award shows and things like that.
I guess so. I guess it's weird because I am an Apple user. I have Apple TVs in every room in my house, and my portal is Apple TV, the home screen, where it shows me my last watch, like what's on, all this stuff. But yeah, I mean, it would make sense for Google, but I mean, Apple TV spent what, $5 billion last year and only like made $1 billion or something. Like, they spend a ton of money. They're burning through money just to make content.
I'm not going to criticize streaming services burning through money. I would never criticize.
Yeah. You have to burn money to get people over there. I think Apple TV feels like the right play. They already have a relationship. That would be a good spot for them. I don't know if it would, I guess it would draw a lot of people because there's a lot of hardcore baseball fans that want to watch. And if they give it free, here you go. Everything's there. You just buy it in the bundle of subscription or you pay a little extra. Wouldn't you do that?
So what makes more sense for MLB? Is it to give all of your games that you currently have on your MLB TV package that they charge me and everyone $150 a year for, give all that to Apple and try to get a check back that equals that or more, or keep it yourself, broadcast it yourself, like you take on a ton of costs, but then you own the program and you can sell 100% of the commercials, 100% of the subscriptions. It's like you have to do a cost analysis of that.
They got to bring those MIT guys over there in the head building and be like, they have no distribution platform, right?
Mike,
Even
do not bring MIT into my business. I am barely holding on how it is. If you start bringing MIT in, I can't have that.
I just think, like you even said it, like they went down the first day when everybody tried to log in. You have to make sure that your distribution platform is up to par that can handle all those people in. We saw it with Netflix.
And mine is, right? Mine has not had one of those major outages that people talk about. And so we are aware of that one over here, but not everyone is. And look what happens when you do fail. It becomes a big deal.
I'm going to place my bet Apple TV, or I just don't think Google would be in the play for it just because there's already so many options on Apple TV. I would say maybe the second option is they just distribute by themselves, but they're not going to make... Isn't that part of, don't teams get some of that money? We talked about that last week.
Yeah, revenue sharing. Yeah, the big teams have to pay.
So there won't be much revenue. You'll have to like project like, okay, we're going to get X amount of signups. Hopefully they stay on. You're not going to pay for it for the whole year because you're only going to pay for this segment of time. So who knows?
It's an ugly time for local sports. There's been a regional sports bubble for a while, and now the national sports bubble is following along. But I still contend the networks are continuing rights deals. Like Peacock and NBC is going to have the NBA through 2036. The whole world might change by then, but that contract runs through 2036.
I just don't know. It just seems like a weird time where, I haven't watched much sports right now. I'm not watching NCAA. I'm not watching anything. I'm waiting for the playoffs. I got an email today. I can buy some Kings playoff tickets. They're going to the playoffs.
They're making the playoffs? Nice.
I'm
I thought
excited.
you got season tickets. Don't you get access? Yeah,
I sold the last few. There was way too many. This month I had games every week, and I'm like, I can't do a game every week.
Not every weekend. You're solo parenting.
Solo ban, yeah, almost, yeah.
To do. You know, the March Madness games have been on Max for the record. If you did want to watch, you do have access. You just don't want to.
No, I don't want to at all. I have no interest.
The other scheduling note that's grinding my gears is March Madness starting very late. I talked about baseball screwing up last Thursday. March Madness, there was a Duke-Arizona game last Thursday night. This is in the Sweet 16. This is Duke, number 1 seed, started after 10 o'clock Eastern time. On a weeknight, a Thursday night. And then there was a game, Texas Tech, Arkansas, that went to overtime. Overtime happened after like 12:30 a.m. on a Thursday night. No one saw it on the East Coast. It's crazy they do this.
Jeremy, welcome to the East Coast. You are now watching sports when no one wants to. Because that would only be 7 o'clock for us.
But Mike, it's like one thing to start a game at 7 and like that's late enough and that has issues. Starting them at 10 and having them go past midnight, that's like a whole nother thing that's so preventable. It's crazy.
Good thing you're not watching like UFC, because doesn't UFC usually start their fights at like 9 o'clock West Coast time?
They do. I mean, at least those are Saturday nights, like those boxing matches. But yeah, it's still late.
You're going to stay up till 2 o'clock watching fights? Like, that's crazy.
No, not at all.
I got one other thing. Okay. They're trying to ban the tush push. Sean McDermott went out and said he wants to ban it because of injuries, but I just feel like no one else can do it well enough, and he wants to just ban it. I don't know why it's such a big thing. I don't really care if they ban it or not, but do you have any feelings on it?
The interesting thing I heard today is maybe it's bad for TV, and therefore they want to ban it because people don't like to watch it. And that's an interesting thought. And that really makes you wonder what's wagging the tail of the dog here. Is it the league? Is it safety? Is it money? Is it TV? It sounds like money and TV because people might be going up to the fridge during the 4th and goal instead of watching the tush push. And if that's, right, for the Eagles, it's going to work. And so, yeah, maybe it's something along those lines.
So we're not banning the QB sneak. We are banning the tush push with 3 guys pushing your tush.
It's illegal to do on special teams play, and there's a loophole that you're allowed to do it on offense. So they might just be closing the loophole, might be the way they're saying it. But I agree with you. I think every other coach out there doesn't like how the Eagles can do it, and they can't do it well. And so they want to ban it for every reason that they're going to list, except for the real reason, which is they want the Eagles to not do it against them.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got on that. I mean, there's not a lot of NFL news. Did somebody sign that we didn't talk about last week? Russ signed in New York. We
didn't talk about Russ and Jameis. Oh, we talked about that.
Did we? Russ and Jameis together? I don't think we talked about it.
Russ was the day after Jameis. Oh, yeah. The Russ news. Yeah, Russ came out. Why'd they both go there?
I don't know. It seems weird. It seems like what a weird motivational locker room that's going to be with Russ and Jameis talking there.
I would love a pregame camera, like one speech to the next, how different they would be.
Oh, that's a lot. So yeah, I don't know. I have no feelings on Russ. I feel like it's just like they're trying to cover their ass. Like that GM there just fucked up last season with everybody watching him lose Barkley, and then they go out and win a Super Bowl. I don't know. And then Aaron Rodgers is today throwing passes to DK, warming up, and who knows if he's going to even sign there.
Still not signed. A quote from Mike Tomlin today in Palm Beach at the owners' meetings was, "We are comfortable with Mason Rudolph if it comes to that."
That's insane. That's insane. They're not comfortable with him.
We both caught up with mutual friend this weekend. He's not enjoying any of this, right?
I didn't catch up with him. I was supposed to work out. We're supposed to work out this week.
Barn.
He canceled. He said he wasn't feeling well in the morning.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, you didn't get to see him. A little too much hangover. Those early morning workouts are tough.
Early morning, I had to schedule it in. Didn't have a nanny. I said, come over here during this time. We could pump it out in the booty barn. No, just by myself.
Mike, I would never bail on a booty barn weekend morning workout.
A little sauna, a little workout. I even can fill up the ice tank if we want to jump in some cold.
My gosh, you're going to put them through the rotation.
Put them through. I don't even want to. Honestly, the tank is empty sitting on the side of the house. I don't want to do it. I don't want to go in the cold. I'm over the cold.
You purchased it to go in the cold, right?
I bought a stock tank from a feed like store where they just like, it's a barrel to feed like horses, water. It's like a trough, but it's big enough for my body to go in, and I fill it up with water. And if you put it in the shade and cover it, you can get like 50-degree water. If you want to get it colder, you can throw some ice bags in it. But like 50-degree water, cold enough to give you a little shock.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy it. I don't like it. There's nothing about ice baths at all that I enjoy.
I thought you would like it. It's supposed to be like for recovery, right? It's supposed to feel like
it just doesn't. I love going in the sauna. I'll sit in the sauna for 20 minutes at 200 degrees, get out, nice sweat. You feel good. That's what I like. I do not want to go in ice.
I think I know why. Where'd you grow up?
Florida.
You're a Florida boy. You are a Florida man, and you demand the heat, and the cold bothers you.
Yeah, I'm getting good. I feel like I'm adapting to the heat. I'm not sweating as much in 200-degree heat right away. I mean, it will towards the end. But I feel like I got a good 10 minutes before I'm like drenched in sweat.
Are you supposed to go in the cold plunge after or before the sauna?
I don't know. I hear all different things. You're supposed to like do cold plunge, or there's like a protocol with the sauna where you do it at 200 degrees. You do 20 minutes in, 20 minutes out, 20 minutes in, 20 minutes out, and you cycle that. It's just too much. 200 degrees is very hot.
That's very hot. That's a little too hot. Not as relaxing.
It feels good though. If you can breathe.
Are you in the best shape of your life?
No, worst shape.
No,
worst shape.
James arrived, so that's been tough.
One day we'll get on some.
Well, Mike, baseball season's over for me. It's not even April, so I don't know what to watch with you the next few months.
We're going to watch NHL and NBA playoffs. Lakers are going to win the championship, which I also bet on live on this podcast. So
I don't know. They're losing games again, right?
It's okay. Let them, they got to relax.
It's fine. 2 weeks till playoffs.
Yeah, that'll be good. Maybe I'll get cable then. All right, good show. Check out thesportshangover.com. Follow us on Substack, on YouTube. Go subscribe on YouTube. We are there. Our faces are there. You can see everything, even the video here with lots more graphics to it. The beautiful cover that ChatGPT put together for us. It's great.
I love it. Baseball. We're a baseball show.
Big baseball show. All right, see you.